Today we have the Curse of Arrav and a mobile anniversary update. The remake of the iconic Majorat quest is here, and on top of that, the much anticipated mobile UI updates are out now. The new features such as menu entry swapper, additional mini menu improvements, and high scores are also available for the official client. Let's start with the Curse of Arrav. RuneScape's iconic Majorat storyline continues with a new quest. Over the past few years, they've been advancing this storyline with quests like Desert Treasure 2 and While Gothic Sleeps, and today sees another important step in the grand plan, the launch of the Curse of Arrav. In this remake of the 2009 quest, you'll embark on a journey to explore Zamoragal's fortress stronghold, learning more about this mysterious Majorat and uncovering his legendary beef with the hero Arrav. To start this quest, head to the Uzer Oasis and speak to Elias White. Elias White can be found at a campsite south of Kasim's house in the Uzer Oasis. Quest requirements. The Curse of Arrav is a master tier quest with the following requirements. You have to have completed Defender of Varrock and Troll Romance. You have to have a level 64 in mining, 62 in ranged, 62 in thieving, 61 agility, 58 strength, and 37 slayer. And they also recommend that you have a combat level of at least 80 to complete this quest. No good quest is complete without some nice rewards too, so here's what you'll get for completing the Curse of Arrav. 2 quest points, 40,000 mining XP, 40,000 thieving XP, 40,000 agility XP, and access to Zamoragal's fortress, where the basement houses higher level variants of the armoured zombies you've encountered during Defender of Varrock. These armoured zombies have an increased chance to drop the zombie axe, and they also drop the new zombie helmet. Zombie helmet requires 50 strength and defense to equip. It sits between the Dwarven helmet and the Inquisitor's Great Helm as a crush-focused head slot option. The zombie helmet will drop broken and must be repaired at an anvil with level 70 smithing. Both the broken and the fixed versions are tradable, and you can view the stats of it on screen right now. The Curse of Arrav is the third and final quest remake in the Majorat storyline. As with previous quest remakes, the Curse of Arrav retains the same overarching narrative as the original. However, various changes have been made to ensure the quest meets the standards of a modern old school quest and matches up with their future plans for the storyline. And speaking of their future plans, they've included a little bit about that. When they first made plans for the Majorat storyline in Old School, they knew it was important to balance the nostalgia people felt for the original with the desire for a fresh take on events. And they realised that their plans could benefit from backporting quests. The Majorat storyline is known for beginning as several different plot threads that weave together in the thrilling conclusion. They wanted to retain this aspect and realised that they could blend old and new by retaining some original plot threads while adding a few brand new ones. Defender of Varrock, While Gothic Sleeps, and the Curse of Arrav all fit nicely into their plans for the story and would also allow players to re-experience their favourite moments from past Majorat quests. They made a conscious choice not to remake other quests so that they had room to add new story elements. And you can see how they've woven in some elements of the originals too. For example, when you're playing through Curse of Arrav, you'll notice a few details that are borrowed from RuneScape's Missing My Mummy quest. And as mentioned before, the Curse of Arrav is the last of the Majorat quest remakes. They are now firmly on the path towards an old school specific conclusion to the Majorat storyline. This means that they will not be remaking Ritual of the Majorat, and instead they have plans for 2 more quests in this sequence, which will resolve the plot threads established in previous quests in a way entirely unique to Old School. However, they will be taking a break from the Majorat story to give other quest lines time to shine. Next, we have the mobile anniversary updates. The long-awaited and much anticipated mobile UI changes are here today. Please note that your mobile device may not automatically update to the latest version of the mobile client, so be sure to check out your App Store or Play Store for the latest updates. The mobile UI rework has a blog of its own, breaking down all the new features released today, but for your convenience, here's a quick little look at all the mobile features that they have released over the years. In new mobile UI features, you have side stones, hotkeys, a pop-out panel, new chat, a menu entry swapper, and high scores. For combat and PVM enhancements, they have attack styles UI, buff bar, cannon HUD, the Cox helper, enemy info, slayer helper, and stat boosts. Visual ease and UI improvements. We have chat timestamps, collapsible minimaps, minimap zoom, tile indicators, tile markers, and view distance. Under quality of life tools, they have F keys on external keyboards, fishing spot indicators, ground item indicators, haptic feedback, long tap delay, loot tracker or respawn timer, regeneration indicator, and XP tracker. In skill helpers, they have an agility helper, agility highlights, blast furnace helper, clue scroll helper, herbivore helper, hunter trap timers, and tears of Gothics timers. And under NPC and environment interactions, they have entity highlights and NPC highlights. New features are also available in the official client. Changes for the mobile and the official client go hand in hand. The menu entry swapper, mini menu improvements, and high scores were some of the most highly requested features, and all of these are also available on the official client. Therefore, they'll be covering them in more detail in today's update. Let's start with the mini menu reordering, also known as menu entry swapper. This was one of the most anticipated features. By enabling the mini menu reordering in the settings menu, you can rearrange mini menu entries entries to fit your needs. The reordering buttons are at the top right of the mini menu when clicked. When clicked, new buttons will appear which you can use to move the options around. You can now also adjust the position of the mini menu in relation to your mouse pointer. To do so, enable this feature and then choose your preference from the drop-down menu. If you want your mouse pointer to appear over the header of the mini menu or at a lower position, it's all up to you now. And you can also now set the spacing between mini menu entries to any value by using the slider or by entering a number here. And last but not least, you can filter what entries are shown or hidden in the mini menu. Disabling entity options will hide mini menu entries for NPCs, items and objects like trees. Disabling player options will hide mini menu entries like trade and follow. And you can also disable the examine and cancel entries in the mini menu. If you choose to display loads of entries, don't worry, you won't end up with an extremely long mini menu because the new scroll bar's got you covered here. And another new entry to the mini menu is one that lets you easily hop to a world that a friend is in by right-clicking their name in one of the following spaces: the friends list, the chat channel, the clan chat, the guest clan chat, or in your group Iron Man group. Moving on to the high scores in-game update. There's no more switching to your browser to check players' high scores. You can now look up player RSNs on the high scores and see stats of other scapers directly in-game without having to open the website in a separate window. To enable this feature, select in-world lookup from the pop-out tab in the settings. Once enabled, you can right-click a player and select Lookup from the menu. This will take you to the High Scores pop-out panel, which displays their stats. And you'll also notice that the High Scores icon in the pop-out panel has been updated with a fresh new look. And they're currently working to resolve a bug already when looking up Group Iron Man and Hardcore Group Iron Man players. So unfortunately, those high scores can't be accessed using this feature just yet. And while these are the newest client features, they're by no means the last. Remember that you can check out the dedicated news post for all the details about today's mobile UI update. And finally, just a few other changes to touch on. They have fixed a bug where players with no access to Mauritania could get an Iraq site task. If you haven't completed Priest of Peril but currently have an Iraq sort or an Iraq site task, you can now cancel it for free by talking to any Slayer Master. The Barbarian Outpost Agility course now warns players that it will also give strength XP. Items dropped in the private instances of the 4 original God Wars bosses will now persist there for 3 hours. This does not affect Iron Man instances, only the private ones unlocked via combat achievements. And the goading potion will now tell you if it expires early due to teleporting or drinking tea. The PvP world rota has moved to period B. 560 is the UK PvP world, 319 is the US Bounty Hunter world, 579 is the US High Risk PvP world, 561 for the UK Free to Play PvP world, and 580 for US LMS Competitive. Both the Australian worlds 390 for LMS Competitive and 569 for Bounty Hunter have been deactivated within this rota. And the PvP arena is using maxed med loadouts in ranked duels and tournaments this week. There's also some merch store updates with a vinyl album being released and some pixel t-shirts. The first issue of a comic series and a new novel are both out now as well. They've also released drawings from their latest Discord modcast, which as a reminder is purely for fun and not to develop in-game content. To highlight a few of them, we have Ava's Devices ornament kits, to change it Indian Gnomes Attractor, Bob's Accumulator, and Jad's Assembler. I think these are pretty cool. Then we have a Halloween themed pumpkin Chinchompa mashup called the Chinchumpkin, and a dragon pickaxe, axe, and harpoon all rolled into one. They also have a new community artist mousepad and 2 LED signs. That's all for today though. I'll see you again next week with another RuneScape update. In the meantime, I hope you have good RNG and enjoy your gaming.